It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, welcome back and happy Thursday. All right guys, so we're obviously getting into the holidays. I mean, we're already in the holidays, but if you celebrate Merry Christmas, then Merry Christmas Eve. I think that's the best way to put it. Well, we know that Bravo has taken a few shows off the roster this week due to the holiday season. Vanderpump Rules was one of them, but thank Father Christmas that we did not lose the Real Housewives of Orange County. So with that, this is a subscribers only live chat. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to smash that like button. Jason and I are back to talk about the Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 16, Episode 4. We're breaking it all down. There was a lot going on, a lot of promises, not threats, tears. We're going to talk about it. So let's welcome Down with Jason. Hi.
Hi. Did you say if you're going to celebrate Merry Christmas?
No, I said if you're celebrating Christmas, then Merry Christmas Eve.
Eve.
Yes,
Tomorrow's going to be fun. I can't wait for tomorrow.
I just saw it on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They say Merry Christmas Eve.
Oh, I mean, that's a thing.
Okay. All right. So with that, guys, I asked you in the chat, what would you rate this episode? A 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. And I was curious. Caroline Bird said an 8.5. We have an 8, a 6, a 5, a 7.25. 5 being nice. Wow. 5. And Dr. Jen gives me Teddy vibes. Good morning, Murray. How are you? And it's early for you over there, Murray. Jason, all right. With that, we have almost 100 people in the room already. That's amazing. Guys, smash that like button. Jason, a 1 to 10, what would you give it? And
I don't know. I'm probably going to have to say, let me see. I'm voting on the poll right now. I'm going to have to say like a 6 or 7. You know, not too much really transpired until like the very end. And we got to know Noella a little better and her whole thing. Although timelines and things aren't really adding up with Noella. So
no,
there is a lot to talk about here.
There is a lot to talk about.
Definitely like a 6 for sure.
Okay. I think honestly, I would have to give it a 7 maybe, just because I think that the end of it at least kept my attention, so I wasn't bored. And Noella's timeline for me, same thing like you just said, something's not adding up here, but we're going to get into that. We kick off this week's episode with Heather Dubrow going over to Dr. Jen Armstrong's house, which I like how they're trying to pretend like these two have anything in common. I don't feel like they do. Dr. Jen Armstrong likes to inject Botox in people's faces, earlobes, chins, eyes, wherever she thinks that you need it because she's getting paid out of it. And Heather Dubrow's like, yeah, I'm married to a plastic surgeon, but okay.
Well, and I think that's where Heather like kind of found some common ground. I did think it was funny, and I said this in my recap, which should have been posted already, but iMovie's being a bitch.
Jason's having complications this morning, and he's getting pissed off.
I hate iMovie. I really do. There's always something better, and we're gonna start using that. No, I'm just kidding. It's so funny at the very beginning of the episode. I think it was the beginning of the episode when Heather called Jen, and Heather Dubrow is spelled wrong. It's Debrw. I think you pointed that out to me.
Brow. Yes,
I was like, oh, must be really good friends. Yeah.
How do you? Okay, first of all, I feel like she did that on purpose. But all right, when they're talking,
that takes a lot of thought to do on purpose, though.
I mean, does it? It's just changing a letter. But then again, sometimes when I post Heather Dubrow, I get auto-corrected on my titles, and it puts Heather Subrow. And then people are like, Adam, I don't know who Heather Subrow is. And I'm like, shit, I was in a rush. Sorry, guys. But when they're talking, we find out, that Dr. Jen Armstrong feels like she did not have the best connection with Noella. And they pan over back to Heather Dubrow's house at her party that got ruined, where Dr. Jen is trying to get her point across, and Noella's like kind of telling her to be quiet. Like, okay, girl, shh. But you see where Dr. Jen Armstrong is cut from a totally different cloth. She is a businesswoman, a working woman, and it kind of seems like she doesn't have the same respect for Noella because she can't understand being a stay-at-home housewife that has everything catered to her. Well, at least she did.
Yeah, no, I don't think Jen appreciated that at all. But the biggest thing too was to see Heather's reaction to Jen saying, I didn't like the way Noella communicated with me or talking down to me, talking to me condescendingly. I don't think Heather was like, oh, really? Because Noella to Heather, because everyone's trying to be Heather's friend, has been nothing but like really nice, you know?
Right. And, like you said, she did share that Noella spoke to her condescendingly at, Heather's party. And she's hoping to address this later, maybe even at Emily Simpson's party for her husband, Shane, who finally passed the bar because they had to lower it a little bit. But I'm not
They actually lowered, it's no secret that they lowered the passing score because of COVID.
Right. But listen, I'm not here to bash it. What I do want to say, though, for anyone who keeps and continuously bashes Kim Kardashian for taking 3 tries to pass the baby bar, Shane graduated law school in 2002. It is 2003,
and he's been taking this test since then.
I mean, listen, we're going to get to it. This poor man looks so defeated. This guy looks like he really does. He just looks like he hates his life. He looks so smug. He looks like he's defeated in that we'll get to it. But I want to talk about another person's husband really quick, because while Heather Dubrow is visiting with Dr. Jen Armstrong, they're talking about their husbands. And we know that Dr. Jen Armstrong's husband, Ryan, does not like to wear a shirt. So much so that they got a phone call from the school because he would pick up the kids in carpool shirtless, making some of the other parents uncomfortable. Then I kind of agreed with Heather when we pan over to her confessional and she's like, wait a minute. So he doesn't wear a shirt like ever? Never? I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. That sounds like some Florida shit where, remember Dad was making fun of me when we were at Thanksgiving and he's like, oh, you can't take the Florida out of the boy. The kid's never wearing shoes. And I was just walking around barefoot the whole time. He's like, son.
I mean, listen, this is Southern California. It's the OC. It's the beach lifestyle. Like, I get it. But, like, I'm sure when he goes to dinner, he puts on a shirt,
Well, I mean, let's hope he puts on a shirt when he goes to dinner.
A lot of people would say hope not, though. I've seen a lot of comments that people really like him.
I mean, yeah, listen. For your age and everything, you got a good body. Okay, we'll leave you alone. Tess Ish said Shane feels like a character on a sitcom to me. And Crazy Beautiful Lens, yes, he does. Crazy Beautiful Lens said, I see red flags with Ryan. Jason, we talked about this before.
We talked about that with the nanny.
With the nanny, because they were panning back to the nanny, like watching her FaceTime him.
But that could just be Bravo editing being a bitch. So sometimes they love to do that to us. They would we remember she was on the phone with him and he was with her mom?
Yes.
Yes. So they kind of panned back over to the nanny and it was like, huh. But she is never home. They've had this conversation before. She works a lot. She is the breadwinner. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So I want to pan over to a conversation that we had with Noella Berger and Nicole James. This was interesting. This kind of showed me that this is not a true, genuine friendship for, a long time. Obviously, there are people out there who can do whatever it takes to be on camera. They don't care if people are watching. If the cameras are on, they're on, and they're damn good at it. Lisa Rinna would be one of those people. But when we see the scene where Noella Berger shows up to lunch with Nicole, she starts crying about her divorce, and Nicole is mortified. She's embarrassed. She's like, shh, shh, shh. People are watching. Girl, just get up. Be quiet, please. Please, people are watching. She said, walk out quietly because there's a lot of people here. And she's like, my whole life is falling apart. Honestly, if I were in Noella's shoes, though, I would be like, girl, you leave. You want to leave? Leave. I'm going to
you leave. And I wouldn't be worried about any botched boob job. I was looking at Nicole's face. And I was like, holy crap, like it can't move. It doesn't move.
You're rude.
I was disappointed with Nicole here. I kind of just am over her. And I don't know if she's going to be like the Angie Harrington of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And we're going to see her for a few episodes and never see her again, or maybe just a couple. But I don't care for Nicole.
Well, that's what we're hearing, though. We're hearing, oh my God. Oh, shoot. Is hashtag Team Sean in the chat? Oh gosh.
Oh, is Team Shannon, guys? Okay, no.
Wait, hold on. Let me give Jason his minute before we continue on, because Jason last night had Christmas Eve when he got a message from someone who him and Josh have been. Go ahead, Jason.
Well, we got it. Yes, we got DMs from Captain Sean, who is a big fan of Anchor Watch, and I'm going to eat my own words because Captain Sean is going to come on Anchor Watch. So we're going to be really excited to have him and pick his brain on this season of Below Deck and what he's seeing and his experience on Below Deck and also the yachting industry in general. But yeah,
what's funny too?
I think all of you make that happen though.
I really hope this is a learning lesson for you, because I think when you first came on YouTube, like you were so used to, you had like this incredible career, right? Where you met so many amazing people, you performed for the queen, you did the damn thing. And then you come on YouTube and you're like, I'm going to say whatever I want, who's watching? And then lo and behold, Lisa Barlow comes into the DMs after you talk shit about Vita Tequila.
She's like,
Captain
let me
Sean
tell you
comes
why
in.
you can't find my tequila. Let me educate you about my tequila that I've
Yes,
had for
that's
18 years. I didn't just slap a label on it.
now
She
I'm
just
hoping.
went in. I love her though. I have so much respect for her. Captain Sean, same thing. He loves, I mean, I said, hey, we poke fun. We just have a good time. But literally, I think my friend Josh is the president of your fan club. So it'll be fun.
Well, hopefully now we realize. And the other day I had Ebony K. Williams. I told you this. She slid into my DMs and she's like, I just watched you on YouTube. Thank you for your words. But again, you never know. But I do want to say, Alabama Camper, thank you so much. Great job, Jason. Kinsey J said,
hey,
y'all
that was
realize
Josh.
Nicole isn't used to cameras. Yes, I think that was very obvious in this instance, because that was my point before, was if she was used to the cameras like any other reality TV person would have been like, okay, girl, like you're doing great. This is going to make it on the edit. Keep crying and I'll be there for you. I'll hug you. And she's like, Noella shows up, no bra. You could tell like she just got out of the house. She's obviously very devastated. But when you said the timelines don't add up, that's true. Now, guys, we're less than 15 minutes in and we have over 200 people in the room. So smash that like button. Noella shows up and says that her husband filed for divorce, that while she was at chirotherapy with Gina, there was a servicer who showed up to her house and threw the divorce papers in her mother's face. Now, my parents have been divorced multiple times, and I've never heard a time where either my dad or my mom have been at their house and then knock, knock, who's there? Boom, take these papers right in your face, bitch. It's like, I don't think that's necessarily how that happens, but okay. That's not the only red flag.
But
the next red flag is,
I was going to say, go to the red flags, because there's quite a bit here.
The next red flag is she's claiming that he filed for divorce and then cut off all the cards and everything. Yes, that's true, but she's like, I didn't see it coming. This is where there's a hole in her story. Noella, back in August, filed for a legal separation. Now, when she filed for the legal separation from James Bergner, that means in the state of California, I filed for legal separation. So any money that I make, if the show gives her bonuses, because when you're a housewife, you get half of your pay up front and then you get the other half after the reunion, and they calculate it all and they disperse it to you. You have to figure out how to take the taxes out. It's 1099, just like a realtor. But in order for her to keep her money or whatever was left of it, she had to file legal separation. But once you file for legal separation, for example, Jason, you and I, let's say we're married, I go out and I file for legal separation. What would you naturally think your next step would be?
To take all the money and run.
Okay, what would the second step
that's
be?
what I would do.
Right, okay, so what would the second natural step be?
To separate.
File for divorce.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean she was running around. I was reading on Twitter. There was something on Twitter earlier. Let me just see if I can get that quote really quick.
I agree with Natasha Holiday. There's more to this story for sure.
There is so much more to this story, and I really can't wait to see it. But there was a tweet on Twitter that says Noella is crying in confessionals, but for months and months was posting pics with Bronwyn showing off all their traveling, the video on election day with those two in their hotel room, not buying the dutiful wife act. Seems like their mother is raising their son. Well, and a lot of people have these feelings. So, but like you said, there's so much more to the story. I can't wait for all of this to unfold, because, as James just came, sweet James, not so sweet, just came on People magazine and said that all of these allegations are false, but I will not publicly disparage the mother of my son. And I can't wait to work this out in court.
Okay, so. Well, Mariesta said Baby Bar only asked 5 questions. I don't know if that's true, but I also don't know about the Baby Bar. I do want to bring this up, guys, because Ronald Richards was one of the first people, and we all know Ronald. We've had him on my channel multiple times. I love when he goes on Twitter because he gives us information that I'm not necessarily always privy to. And this was these were a few of the tweets that he came out with yesterday. Jason, let me know if this comes up, okay?
Okay.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. So Ronald Richards posted yesterday, after yesterday's post, we received so much feedback, we decided to do a further dive. We have 36 pages of documents. Here is the Twitter nutshell. Noella Berger's not-so-sweet husband, James, was sued prior to their marriage by Samuel, I don't want to butcher his last name. He alleged many abuses of their law partnership, private jets, and a fake marriage with Real Housewife of Orange County's Noella. The suit was settled in 2020, and Sam is in Vegas. James still owns the firm, another firm in his name. Sweet James is an LLP, which owns a trademark. James claims that he spent $50 million over 10 years on the name and $10 million from 2019 to 2020 in another lawsuit he filed against a competitor. We attached the lawsuit as well. Both of James' entities and James himself have tax liens. Recently, OC just filed a lien. There is money and entitlement here. But the key was right here where it said, he alleged many abuses of their law partnership, private jets, and a fake marriage with Noella. Now, at first I was thinking a fake marriage, how? I don't know if you can necessarily say a fake marriage because they share a son together.
Well, I don't know. There are some photos that popped up, when I was looking, and especially on Twitter. Twitter's like my new favorite place. I never liked Twitter before. Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate Twitter.
There are a ton of these photos where they look really happy.
They look happy, but we all know that, cheating and money, those are two of the biggest ends to a relationship, right? And again, getting back to this conversation with Noella and Nicole James, she's crying to her, letting her know that she feels like her whole world is crumbling down. And one thing that I saw, at first I was thinking in my head, and Jason, sometimes you have a very low tolerance with this kind of shit too. At first I was thinking in my head, she wanted a tequila. She's crying. Nicole, you're not a good friend. Like she's legit crying. Her world is crumbling down, and she's not going to be able to fly private anymore. What
Noella's kind of like, oh my god, like,
yes, I know.
Crying in front of people. I was like, this is not your friend, Noella. Get away from her.
I mean, but then pan forward, and we'll get to this later, where Nicole is riding in the car with Heather and Terry and her boyfriend over to Shane Simpson's party, Emily's husband. And she said, yeah, she said that you're a fake bitch. And then she's like, but I think she was really drunk. And then, of course, Shady Bravo editing, we see it wasn't one tequila. It was 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, maybe floor. I don't know. But it was a lot more than one. And maybe that's why Nicole finally got fed up. Like, girl, you're drunk. This is not the way to do it. Let's get out of here. You're making a spectacle.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
If you guys...
I don't know. I want to know what the live chat thinks about Nicole. I don't think we necessarily need Nicole or her storyline or her input or her scenes. I think it was great for that first episode to get us started with the whole, the past lawsuit that was dropped against Terry Dubrow. But now let's Angie Harrington, Nicole.
Well, you want to know what people think about Nicole. Crazy Beautiful Lynn said Nicole couldn't even fake empathy. EHC Bunny said fake marriage equals no court documents for marriage. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Hold on, I want to bring up these Nicole comments. Nicole's blush was louder than Noella's tears, let's be real. If a judge from Puerto Rico granted it, how did Sweet James prove he was a Puerto Rico resident? Can you be a legal resident in both Puerto Rico and California? Johnny Tsunami said Nicole already lied by omission by not telling Heather about the lawsuit. She clearly has an agenda and can't be trusted. To be fair, though, I don't know if Nicole equals Inquirer trash. Oh my gosh. Oh. Not seeing the use of Nicole. Nicole equals by Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. 100%. Okay, so I'm on board for that. I just don't care enough.
I don't think that Nicole had anything to gain. Like, she looked so uncomfortable when Shannon shared that story. I don't think Nicole wanted that out there. So I'm not going to put that on her necessarily. But since we're talking about this...
That was the whole reason she was there. That was the reason. And I think that without that, there's no more...
I think it became the reason. But Heather Dubrow obviously is very upset with Shannon Bedore. By the way, guys, 350 in the room. Go ahead, smash that like button. Show some love. Only 20 minutes in. Heather Dubrow was obviously very pissed with Shannon. She wasn't accepting her apology the night of the party. She doesn't understand why Shannon would come in with this information that could paint her husband, their family, and his business in a bad light. And Shannon was like, you know what? I fucked up. I apologize. And Heather was like, no, ma'am. So Shannon said, can we please talk? And Heather said, well, hold on. Here's a message I'm going to send back. Shannon, I'm surprised I'm just hearing from you now. But I don't care to adjudicate your behavior over the past few weeks via text, nor do I have time in my schedule to listen to more of your rhetoric. However, she has enough time to write the rest of this paragraph. The point isn't so much what you said, since there's nothing to hide. It's that you would pass on information that could be twisted and could have hurt my husband, his career, and thereby our family. Oh, and please spare me your supposed intentions. It's your actions that matter, and they are indefensible and inexcusable. I sincerely hope you have reached out to Nicole to apologize for humiliating and spreading private, all caps, information from 20 years ago that was none of your business. Heather. Now, when Shannon's reading this and she's reading it on the phone with Noella, Noella's like, I don't understand what her problem is, girl. She's made up with everybody but you. And I'm thinking, Noella, that's no shit, because everybody but her didn't say anything. She was the one who spread this. Of course, Heather Dubrow is going to be pissed off. And I even just saw a comment in the live chat where someone said Heather Dubrow should not be brought back next season for that threat. That was ridiculous. And she came in with like,
it was very Erica Jane. It was very Erica Jane.
No,
or
I think
what?
that, listen, I think that she deals with things in a different way. That, you know, some people like to go out into the street and fight it out. Some people like to, you know, verbally rip people behind a keyboard. And other people like to get lawyers involved and strip someone of, you know, their financial stability. And I think that's what Heather Dubrow was saying is, talk about my family again, you're going to have much bigger problems. But we'll, I guess, have to wait and see how the rest
I mean, listen, you know, people feel it's very contrasting feelings that I see about Heather Dubrow being back. I had very mixed feelings about her coming back as well. I liked her before and don't necessarily know if I really love it, but she's bringing it. And I feel like it was a great way to start over on a clean slate. I wonder, though, because I don't know how it felt to you, but did you feel Shannon's apology was genuine and sincere? Because I kind of did, but we've seen Shannon do this kind of thing before. So, you know, Heather said, you know, I've had time to take information from everyone and come to my own conclusion on this, and I feel like you weren't telling the truth. But then when she continued, I'm like, Heather, are you going to drag this out the entire season?
No.
Because I think this is going to be playing out for a minute.
No, see, I think they end up squashing it. And honestly, this is only the 4th episode, and this just happened, and this is the first time we're seeing Heather and Shannon kind of come face to face since that moment. But Murray, happy belated birthday at Joe Mendoza. Yes, happy belated birthday, Joe Mendoza. Jason,
we did birthday on Anchor Watch for Joe.
All right. You want me to give you I have a theory.
Okay.
So when Kelly Dodd ended up getting fired from the show, she was at a backyard bonfire, Orange County style, which means like, I don't know, they sit around like a $50,000 campfire and they probably drink food. But they were sitting around and they went on Instagram and they were recording live. And Kelly was like, oh, I got fired for my political beliefs. And like kind of sloshed. And she's like, I hate Heather Dubrow. And she kept going in and she's like, ask Heather, why are you suing me, Heather? I think when Shannon went through this situation with Heather, she was probably reporting back to Kelly and telling her how the filming process was going. And Kelly was probably like, Shannon, be careful because she's sue happy. Watch yourself. And Shannon was like, oh shit, I don't want to deal with that. I'm already dealing with my ex-husband. Mind you, this isn't going to play out on the show, but they were in court while she was filming the show. And he was trying to stop her from filming the show with the daughters. And then production had to write a letter to the court saying, if Shannon cannot film with her daughters, she is no longer a housewife. We're pulling her orange. And I think Shannon was like, this is my livelihood. I need to retract this really freaking quick. So that's what she did. I don't think she's genuinely I don't think she's really apologetic about it. I don't.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I do hope what you say will happen, and I do hope they squash this, because there are like, I can't really see where everyone is right now. And I saw a comment earlier that Dr. Jen Armstrong reminds someone of Teddy, but I don't feel like that, because I feel like there are going to be new like friendships forming. There are going to be new allegiances as the season kind of gets on. And I feel like, you know, we have Noella and Jen, and I say this all the time, are just waiting in the wings for like big drama and big things happening. And I don't know. I really hope they squash it and we move on from this. I hope you're right.
Steve Woon said, Adam, why are you always against Shannon? I'm not against Shannon. I'm just against like when I can see that something is a fake storyline or you're playing something up for the cameras or to make it benefit yourself. That's what I'm not against it. I'm just here to call it out. I'm honestly not against anything. She's been on the show long enough. Good for her. But Jason, are you still there? Jason took a break. All right. So guys, 415 in the room. Go ahead, smash that like button. I want to talk about Shannon's business, Real for Real. So Shannon's company apparently is taking off, so much so where she was able to hire her daughter, and her daughter is going to be her assistant. And her CFO thought, okay, you need a new assistant because yours quit. It looks like Real for Real is doing really well, but I don't think I would have my daughter helping out with it.
It seems like there was no urgency to get those packages like ready to go.
I mean, I think that listen, one thing I love about Bethany Frankel is she's always having Brynn help her make decisions, and she lets her sit in the meetings so she can learn what's going on behind the scenes. And I think that started at such a young age because Bethany's been in business since before Brynn was, born. I feel like for Shannon, you're dealing with a couple of like young daughters who grew up in the OC. They think it's cool. I'm going to be on camera, mom. Yeah, you want me to slap a couple package, whatever on the thing? That's fine. I'll do it. But she didn't look like she was interested in being there at all. And I would be pissed if I have a product that's going out and you're just slapping sideways, like cross-eyed, crooked ass labels on a package and being like, there, mom, there you go. It looked like Shannon just wanted her daughter to film. And she's like, okay, Stella, just sit in as the assistant.
Yeah. No, I found it funny. It was nice to see Stella, and I want to see more of, Shannon's like family dynamic. I've always kind of enjoyed that with Shannon, whether I like Shannon or not. But does the daughter go anywhere without that sports bra thing?
I don't know.
It's just like that's all she was wearing. I was like, what is going on? I think everybody's
listen. My sister's Stella's 16. She can do whatever she wants. I am not commenting on that. What I will comment on is I have a bunch of sisters, and I know that my parents would not have let my sisters go out in crop tops, but everyone's different, so I'm not sure. However, I do want to talk about another dynamic that I'm learning to love this season, and I slept on them for so long, and I pulled the Jason, I talk shit, and now I'm eating my words. I'm really enjoying Gina and Emily, their friendship. And they go on a double date with Gina's man, Travis, and also Shane, talking about this party, belly dancers, and the fact that Shane finally passed the baby bar. Now, Shane is very facetious and sometimes a smartass. And when he is, sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's very rude. But I like how they're talking about the Noella situation. And they're like, yeah, they're getting a divorce. And he's like, what? Sweet James sounds like he's not so sweet anymore. I'm like, yeah, well, Short Shane finally hit the bar because they lowered it. So which one is, I don't know which one. But what do you think of this dynamic? Do you like them?
What, Gina and Emily?
Gina and Emily.
I love them. I mean, I feel like every episode they just are like, blah. Even Emily at her party going to get Heather and bringing her over in front of Shannon. I just feel like they really are great. They're a great team. I hope we don't lose that team later in the season.
I agree with that. Joe Mendoza said, would your mom let you go out in a crop top, Adam? No, she wouldn't. I tried. And no. Okay. So with that, no, I am liking them on the show. For a long time, I never really understood what Gina and Emily bring to the show. But now fast forward and let's start getting into the party because I'm starting to recognize, okay, this is where you guys are really killing it. So we have Shane's party. Okay. Everyone's so excited because he graduated law school. Did you say 2003? Because I said 2002.
2003 is what I read, but
okay.
I could be wrong.
2000, let's say 2003. You graduated law school 18 years ago. All right. So in that time, they could have had a full-grown adult that was also entering law school by this point. But you graduated law school. But the point is here is don't ever give up. Keep on trucking. So it's worth the party. And at the party, there's going to be a lot of drama. Now, all of the women start showing up, and Shannon's coming. She knows that she's going to have to face Heather, and Heather's in the car with Nicole James on the way to the party. This is the moment where Nicole tells Heather, well, I was talking to Noella, and she said that you're a fake bitch. And she's like, what?
Fake bitch? If you're Heather, you're getting a lot of information. You're getting information from Dr. Jen Armstrong saying, I don't like the way Noella talks to me. Then you have Nicole feeding you, you're a fake, I'm curious because Noella, it seems like, really wants to be friends with Heather.
No, it doesn't. Not if you're going to call her a fake, but
Well, no, I mean in front of Heather's face. You know what I mean?
right.
Like they all do that. They all want to be Heather's friend in front of Heather. So
Right. Well, and Heather was trying to, I think Heather, like a lot of parents, Heather and Dr. Terry Dubrow are pretty old school, and their daughter Max came out as bisexual. And Noella said that she is bilingual, bisexual. Okay. So, and biracial. So she ran up to Max, and we see this scene where she's like, "Are you Max? Hi, Max. I'm bisexual too." And she embraced Max, and you see Max like lights up, and she's smiling because someone's embracing that. And that's important, especially for a kid. And I think Heather is trying to, as a parent, probably not fully understanding what everything means yet, even though she's a very intelligent woman. But until you go through it and it's someone in your own family or your kids, you don't understand the full extent of the situation, maybe. And I think that she was actually excited about having someone on the cast like Noella, who was so open with Max, willing to embrace her. And she's like, wait a minute, maybe my daughter can look at you as a role model. And as she's going to give her a present for being so sweet to Max and going through her divorce, this is when she gets the bomb dropped in her lap that Noella's calling her a fake,
yeah, no, it's very interesting. I'm really curious, and not just with Noella's, timeline conflictions and all the more information we're going to get, involving Sweet James and maybe the divorce and upcoming drama, but also what's going to pan out between Noella and Heather, and if Heather is going to confront Noella about that.
No, it gets bad. It gets bad. Midway through the season, Noella unfollows everyone. She goes to blows back and forth, not physical, but legit back and forths with Dr. Jen Armstrong. Heather unfollows Noella. And we find out that Noella allegedly gave X-rated material to Max, her underage daughter. So this is going to get
weird.
It's weird. It's going to get bad. But Joe Mendoza said, I do like what Heather did, though. Even after Nicole dropped that tea, she stayed nice and classy to Noella and still gave her the gift. For being nice to Max. I think Heather is the kind of person who likes to kill with kindness, but also lets you know, like, she kills with kindness, smiles in your face, and then she looks over her shoulder and you see like a whole line of like military behind her, and she's like, you see?
Yeah.
See what's behind me? Don't fuck with me. Like, I feel like that's how Heather, like they know. Like when somebody's house, when all of the floors in somebody's 20,000 square foot plus home are heated, they can foot the legal bill. Just saying. Okay. So when Heather enters in the party, Noella, she embraces her. She's super sweet. And I agree with Nicole. I don't think Noella remembers saying that about Heather, but she will have to eventually eat her words and kind of own up to it. And they're all talking, and Shannon comes into the party very awkwardly. When she does, she stands across from Emily and she tells Emily, I think I need to talk to Heather when I get a minute, but I don't know when that minute is going to be. And she's like, well, wait a minute, Shannon. I need to talk to you as well. She's like, about what? She's like, I heard you use some adjectives about me that weren't necessarily correct. And
untrustworthy,
like, my friend.
manipulative. And Shannon said, I never said those words. And Emily's like, yes, you did. Hold on. Let me go get Heather.
That was part of the reason, like, I'm starting to love Emily. The fact that
she is not afraid of this drama anymore. Neither is Gina. It's just they will step into the line of fire to provide us a great scene. And that's why I'm loving
Gina. Had a conversation with them, and they were like, ladies, this is do or die when it comes to the franchise. You guys need to, every moment that you get, do not sleep on it. And Shannon's like, really? Really, Emily? You're going to do this right now? That's not going to be good for anyone. And yep, that's exactly what she does. So she goes and pulls over Heather because Shannon was essentially calling Heather a liar. And when she did, she said to Heather, Heather, what did you say? And she said, I said that you told me they were untrustworthy. And she's like, okay,
and manipulative.
Manipulative. Busted. But to be fair, Shannon did go over the timeline, and she's like, they haven't been the most trustworthy in the past. None of them really have, though.
No.
Like, I wouldn't trust anyone on this cast.
Who would you trust the most on this cast right now? Gina? Emily? Heather? I don't know. That's a great question for the live chat, because I'm really curious. If you were on the cast, let's say you were the new housewife coming in.
Heather, and I would strategically not cross her.
And where do you go? But is she one of those people who's going to flip on you?
No, I feel like that would be this one. But I would trust Heather. I would trust probably Heather the most.
Well, we're not going to trust Nicole because Nicole can't even deal with people laying out their emotions on the table.
No, she can't. She can't.
and
I do love the fact that these two are
wrong.
ganging up on Shannon Bador, and they have questions, and they're calling her out and holding her feet to the fire. And then Shannon wants to have a conversation. One of my favorite moments, and you used to do this all the time when I first met you in LA, when you didn't want to, like Jason and I, when we first met, we had roommates, and it was like a party at our apartment every single night. There was like 10 to 15 people throwing sliding glass doors off the, was that me? Did I throw the sliding glass door off the balcony?
No, our place was like the place where like everyone after work like came over. It was just our house was open. We always had food and drinks and everything. So people just came over and it was just like the hangout zone. There was like 20 people a night at our place. It wasn't like a party. We just always had like, everyone was in their own like corner having conversations and it was convenient. I don't know.
Do you remember we had a roommate named Brett though, and he would bring over friends that you didn't like, and they would come over and they'd be like, "Hey, how are you?" And you would be like, "So Adam, what's going on? How was?"
Do you remember like the 18 other people in the house would just be like, "We don't like them." Make them feel so uncomfortable.
They're like, "Jason's so rude," and I would sit there, and Jason would be like, "Hey, so how was work?" And I would look, and I'd be like, "It was good. Is everything okay? Everything okay?" No? Okay. But no, when Heather did this in the moment, she disengages and she goes over and she goes, "Hi, I don't think we've met yet. Heather Dubrow, how are you?" And Shannon's like, okay, wait, I want to have a conversation. And she's like, "I don't want to ruin another party." And she said, "Fine. If you want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation somewhere where it's quiet," which I respect.
That poor woman Heather went up to. She was
so uncomfortable.
"Hi, what am I supposed to say to you? Did we meet? Do I know you?"
I would rather go up to Shane at this point. And poor Shane.
I don't know.
Everyone is walking up to Shane in this party. This isn't even a party for Shane. The only people who are excited to see him would be his mom and his dad. And everyone's walking past him like, "Hey, congratulations, Shane. All right, I'm going to grab a drink now." And he's just sitting there like... And then when Dr.
No one cares about Shane at his own party. It just seems like everyone was there for, the event. Like you do in Southern California, you go to the event to be seen.
Listen, I agree with that. Murray, thank you. Merry Christmas, Adam and Jason. Thank you, Murray.
Oh my God, Murray, I owe you such a text message.
Oh, I have to text you back too, Murray. I'm sorry. It's been crazy.
Oh my God.
It's been crazy. I hit and subscribe to Up and Adam, about to do Down with Jason. Heather is trustworthy. She doesn't need a storyline. Hey, thanks, Kim Possible. Guys, 500 people in the room. Go ahead, smash that like button. Show some love. But what I was going to say about the Shane situation, did you see, because sometimes some of the biggest problems in the past that some of the housewives have had with the Dubrows, Tamra Judge has said it, Vicki Gumbelson, Kelly Dodd, I mean, a lot of them, they feel like the Dubrows feel like they're here and the rest of the world is here. And that they talk to you very condescending and talk down to you. Now, I've noticed it before, and I feel like that's just them. But when I saw them greet Shane, they're like, "Hey, Shane, how are you, big guy? Yeah, congratulations.
Hey, good job on the test.
Good job." And Dr. Terry Dubrow's like, "Fucking, my kid's like 17 and probably just passed the bar. What are you talking? Like, why are we here?" And I'm like, "Oh, this looks bad." And then Shane is sitting there, and I hate when somebody like goes in on themselves. Like, I would rather just, go in on the person for them. But when he's like, "Yeah, I'm the dumbest guy in the world," I was like, "Oh, this is actually sad," because he really is embarrassed about this, when you shouldn't be embarrassed because you finally passed it. It's just, of course, going to be comedic relief on reality TV.
It's not an easy thing to pass, but
it's not an easy thing to pass.
Two people, have passed now since they've lowered the score. So Kim Kardashian and Shane, I mean, they have something in common.
Okay. Well, at the end, obviously, we see where Heather and Shannon sit down, and it's a very uncomfortable situation. And when she sat down with Shannon, she said, "If you ever come after me or my family ever again, you are going to lose a lot more than just my friendship. This will cost a lot. And I'm not saying it as a threat. I'm saying it as a promise." And Shannon looked like...
What?
I mean, Jason,
I just have to say that because I was like, that's uncomfortable. And also, like, is this an adult talking to an adult? Because I feel like this is a very... I mean, I don't know. Like, I get what Heather's saying.
Look at her face.
But, like,
she's not
what is
around.
the promise?
The promise is, ever talk about my family again, say one more thing. Let one word come out about my business, my family, my life, and I am going to own your reel for real. I'm going to own your little OC rental that you
Reel
don't
for
own.
real.
I'm going to own your kids' college fund. I'm going to own it all. Like that was look at her face. You can tell people were like, this is for a storyline. And that was the most rehearsed line. She might've thought about the line before she went in, but you can tell she's saying
that would not surprise me at all.
Well, I'm sure she knew what she was going to say, but this has heart behind it. That has emotion. Look at her face. And there's a lot of Botox.
I mean,
you can see the
I was just going to say, I'm looking, but I'm not seeing it.
No, you can see the emotion. Past the Botox, you see it. She's like, I will come for you. That is not a threat. I was like,
that is a promise. Or what?
Goodbye.
Just reminded me of Erica. I was like, we have a new Erica. Erica, lawsuits and threats.
Crazy Beautiful Lynn said the promise is a lawsuit and her social standing in the OC society being completely obliterated. I agree with that. And Travis Tinsley said, no, it definitely gave me Erica Jane. Lots of fillers too. Is she angry? And Heather is dragging this whole thing with Shannon at this point.
I don't want it dragged out anymore though, because I was, and I'm glad you kind of clarified that for me moving forward, that hopefully they do sweep this in the rug. Because I'm like, okay, cool, we've gotten it, we get the gist, done. Kind of like we're done with Nicole.
This is shady as hell. You can see the emotion in the vein popping out of Heather's neck.
Yeah, okay. She's gonna destroy her.
All right. Well, with that, Jason, I don't want to drag this on too long, just like you don't want to drag on this storyline too long. So hopefully now that they've had the conversation, we see where they stand. I want to know from you and everybody in the live chat, guys, if you haven't, Christmas Eve, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love, and comment below. What are your thoughts about next week's episode? What are you looking forward to? And before, Jason, you say yours, I do want to bring this up. That's a good point. Sunset Harp said, Shannon was sued by Jim Bellino and it wreaked havoc for Shannon. Heather is basically telling her that was nothing compared to what Heather will do. Yeah, Jim Bellino sued her because Shannon allegedly trashed his trampoline business and just made a joke about it. And she did that on the Heather McDonald Juicy Scoop podcast, which we were just mentioned on, by the way, guys. But when she did, Jim Bellino sued her and Tamra Judge. Shannon actually won the lawsuit. Tamra Judge is still in the lawsuit, and that was hell for her. So I'm sure she's probably like, if Jim Bellino could sue me with some trampoline money, the Dubrows just dropped $36,000 like it was nothing on a Nobu lunch that they canceled halfway through.
I know. When Heather told Dr. Jen Armstrong, you didn't even get to try the Wagyu beef, I was like, where did this go? Did you send it back to the restaurant, to a shelter, to your neighbors, to somewhere? Or did you just throw away this food?
No, the kids are all eating on it for the next couple of days.
Right.
The kids they're like, Mom, we don't want any more Wagyu beef.
I do. Yeah. One of your comments in the chat says too, though, like, I don't blame Heather. Terry's business is their livelihood. And that's true too. Like, I know it was an older thing, the lawsuit between Nicole and Dr. Dubrow, but it's still like, it doesn't make him look good.
Right.
So
I mean, and that's the thing too, is even though Heather Dubrow signed up to be on the Housewives, I understand sometimes the family members can be collateral, but this is somebody like, I think that's why Heather stressed in the text message to Shannon, you are giving out someone's private medical information. Like it says right there down at the bottom, all caps, and spreading private information. It's someone's
doctor-patient privilege.
Yeah. And so I think that honestly, you're talking about his business. You're saying that she got a botched job. Now people might watch the show because people are very...
And now they're like, is this why we watch the show?
Well, people are easily influenced too. So some people, like say there's this woman out in OC and she's like, oh my God, Sarah, I want a nose like yours. Oh girl, you have to get a nose like mine. I have a great doctor. His name's Dr. Terry Dubrow. And she's like, no girl, did you just see OC? He does botch jobs. Like there are people who are very impressionable by, watching TV, and he might lose business because of this. It's true.
It is very true.
All right.
It's very true.
Well, with that, what are you looking forward to most next week's episode?
Well, just a little bit of everything. I'm ready for it to move on a little bit. It was a slower episode, but I have to say I'm really enjoying Orange County, and I'm glad it's back. I'm glad it's good. I'm glad we kind of washed our hands of the old stuff and, the Kelly Dodd and all of that. It's so much better right now. I'm interested though to find out just a little more about Noella's divorce and maybe getting a little more information from her on the show. And then also to see what happens when Heather might confront Noella about being called a fake bitch. That's what I'm looking forward to. How about yourself?
I want to see what Shannon tells the rest of the women that Heather said. I want to see,
she changes it up.
I want to see how she takes this information back to the rest of the girls when they're all like, what did she say to you? What did she say? And she's like, nothing.
Shannon is the worst game of telephone ever. You tell her one thing, and I feel like she takes that one thing and turns it into Come on.
She's not a gossip. Okay. I mean, honestly, we'll have to wait and see. Guys, before we go, because it is Christmas Eve, and I've just been watching the topics this week. Jason and I both have. There haven't been a ton of brand new topics for us to do today's hot takes, but it is a Christmas holiday week, not just Christmas, but it's a holiday week. So same thing like Thanksgiving. Sometimes you don't get as much information because the world's kind of on standby because they're celebrating with their families or friends. There was something that came out, and it has been confirmed that it's coming in early of 2022 on Channel 4, and it's going to be called Selling Prime. PK and Dorit got a new reality TV show, and it's going to be showcasing 8 brokers in London. And Jason, have you heard about this?
Yes, I know about the London thing because I knew they've already been working on that. But
can I tell you what the dynamic of the show
when is this happening? What is it going on? What did you just say? You said
so
Channel 4.
It's going on Channel 4.
What the hell's Channel 4?
I don't know. It's Channel 4. What do
Channel
you mean?
4 in like the UK?
Yes, Channel 4.
Wait, Channel 4 is different everywhere, Adam, depending on where you live.
Do we have a Channel 4 in the United States?
Yes, every local area has a Channel 4, but I don't know what it would be on.
I don't know if we have basic cable. Do we have basic cable?
I mean, yes, we get what would be Channel 4, but
okay.
Every channel, anyways. It has to be, it's not on something, it's just...
No, it's on Channel 4.
No, it's not Channel 4. There is not like a big broadcasting center called Channel 4. Channel 4 is a channel, but what is it on?
Okay.
Is it like an NBC thing? Is it only going to be in the UK?
Hold on. I'm just going to bring this up.
BBC 4. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Okay. So let me bring this up really quick because I want to read it to you guys. South Shore is set to produce a new property competition format selling super prime for Channel 4. The show is centering on property magnate Paul P.K. Kimsley and his reality TV star wife Dorit.
Property magnate. All right.
So the US-based couple will head back to London to join with fellow super prime agent Becky Fatimi, owner of agency Rockstone, to offer 8 ambitious Brits the chance to hit the big time. Alongside with his wife Dorit and partner in the property, PK is opening a London agency, and he's like grooming these agents to be the best. And Dorit's going to come in and style them and tell them how they're supposed to compose themselves when they're going out to these different listings. And she's going to make sure that they look the part, like $1 million from head to toe. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I could see this already. It would be like, yes, this is going to be a dud. But it'd be like, PK would be like, all right, so this is the chance of a lifetime. And then Dorit would come in.
I thought that Maurizio and PK were teaming up together to open a reality show about the agency going to London.
No, that's what
Mauricio's the agent. I know. This, though, sounds like... I mean, is Channel 4 in the UK good? BBC 4 or whatever? I gotta ask. I mean, is this where you would put a dud show?
I mean, I don't know. But Leanne Hall, that's a very great point. Today is known as Christmas Adam, you know? Adam came before Eve. Oh, you're right. So today's Christmas Adam. Hi, Christmas Adam. Okay. And Norma Maldonado, Merry Christmas, Adam and Jason. Wishing you both much love and an incredible and prosperous new year. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Norma.
For the new show, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was a complete joke. And
That's
finding out that Dorit's position is to come on and style them. And I can see her being like, PK, does she need some Chanel? No? Gucci? Okay, PK, I love you. And it's like, what accent is that? Is that Connecticut? Is that Spanish? Is that European? Is that... I don't understand anymore. And why is she getting a spinoff? I don't know.
Well, Channel 4 is a good channel. Okay, so BBC 4 is completely different. BBC 4 is just another branch of BBC. Channel 4 is a great channel. Okay, I wonder if this will... I don't know. I don't see PK. PK is opening an agency, a real estate agency.
We're going to have to wait and see. But I did want to drop that information.
I'm so confused with him.
I wanted to give you that little bit of a tidbit. So anyways, Jason, I know that you have a lot to do today, and I'm going to go take your mom and do some last minute Christmas shopping. So with that, guys, I have another pre-record coming your way. There's some more information and another Bravo celebrity that we know who is trying to now join the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after her life has come.
I wonder who that could be.
Okay, so don't say the name, and I'm sure you guys already know, but I'm dropping the pre-record here in a little bit. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead.
Well, we're going to move back to Salt Lake City because my career here didn't work. That's really going to tell you that this is the season completion of another show. Season of completion.
Okay.
Vanderpump Rules.
Can you guys not give it away over here in the chat? Look at them.
Well, we don't know the details, but is that what she's angling after? I mean, they are casting for season 3.
I mean, listen.
You throw Lala onto the cast of Salt Lake City. Hopefully Jen will stick around. I mean, that would be... Maybe I'd watch that.
See, I said at first when she was saying, well, I would love to graduate to Housewives one day. When she had the opulent lifestyle with Randall and she's driving around a Rolls Royce and a Lamborghini and she's flying private, I was like, I don't think she's old enough to fit in with this crowd, but she does have the lifestyle. Well, now that her and Randall are no longer together, in my head, I was thinking, well, you don't have the lifestyle. You're living in an apartment and you're just really kind of mucking it like the rest of everyone else, trying to make sure that they're okay.
I don't know how that would go. That's interesting that would be an angle for her.
Yeah. Deborah Cartier said, Lala is not a housewife. And Lauren B said Lala versus Jen would be interesting.
I mean, that would be interesting. I'm just going to say, I would just love to. No, can you imagine? It would Lala. Just be yelling for like 30 minutes.
Oh, God. All right. Jason, where can we find you, please?
Guys, you can find me at Down with Jason, but we're taking a break, of course, for the holidays. And I think we'll be back Monday, but we absolutely are doing Anchor Watch on Tuesday, even though there's no episode. And you'll find out why if you join us for Anchor Watch, if you are an Anchor Watch watcher. Anchor Watch watcher. But yeah, come find me at Down with Jason.
All right. And guys, make sure you subscribe to Jason. Subscribe over here. Smash that like button. Show some love. And if we don't see you before and you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If not, Happy Holidays to all of you. We're sending you and your families the best, all the love, and hoping that you make some great memories. We're going to see Pops tomorrow, so that's going to be exciting for an interesting crab boil Christmas Eve. I've never done one before, but I will post on the community tab just to share Pops with you guys. And then I was going to say one other thing. There was one thing coming up. Oh, shit. I forgot. Okay, I'll post it in my community tab. Sorry. Love you guys. Oh, I was going to say thank you to our super chat, super stickers in
Seriously. And Murray, I'm texting you immediately after this.
Murray, thank you. Thank you, Norma. Thank you to everybody who gave a super chat. We appreciate you guys. And also happy belated birthday, Joe Mendoza, and happy belated birthday to my brother, Justin. Bye, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.